Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it positive, as it should be. We all deserve it nowadays more than ever. I mean, at least in my personal opinion, we deserve it more than anything. Just to be completely straight funky, these are some crazy times that we live in. Indeed. Man, oh man, we got some things to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about right now. We got some new stuff, guys, and I know some of you guys are like, wait, he's on earlier than usual today. I mean, you know, I hop on random, and I just got done with a pretty mean run, and all of a sudden I get home and I see this story that just popped off. So I was like, you know what, let me hop on really quick and give you guys this story, because this is information that I feel like we all should know, right? And they have finally unsealed more. And we did say there's a possibility that there's more that they haven't released to the public yet. Okay. And now they have come out with more stuff. It has been unsealed. We are finally going to look at some more stuff. Because remember, we looked at the stuff a couple days ago when they unsealed some of the things. And I know some people were real skeptical, you know, understandably, real skeptical. But now the items that they have here are, pretty damning, in my personal opinion. Okay, so get in here, get all up in here, y'all. We got some new information that just recently dropped, revolving around the Bryan Kohberger case. Okay, so get in here, get comfortable. It's time to start chopping it up about this. Now, before we get everything going, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. All right, hit it, crush it, make it scream out your doggone name. That would mean the world to me. Okay, and of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets. Shoot, I just got done with a very mean run, so I may look a little moist. Okay, but had to jump in here, and I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm still getting in my morning routine, and I figured let me get in this story with you guys really quick before I have other stories I got to talk to you guys about today as well. And some of them are going to be live chats, and some of them are going to be pop-up videos. But nonetheless, there's some other conversations that we need to have, and one of them, well, actually, two of them are pretty. They're pretty controversial, so we're gonna be talking about it. Okay. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here, being a part of the conversation. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Be sure to check that. You know, unclick it, click it back on, whatever you need to do to make sure that you are getting your notifications, because I don't know what's up with YouTube, but they done mucking it up like crazy as of late. Okay, so be sure to hit that notification bell. Make sure it's on. Turn it off and turn it back on. Make sure you're subscribed in this mother lover. Okay, it'd be greatly appreciated. I can't even believe I have to say that, to be real. And Nerd, thank you so much for giving me that love and putting that link just in case people don't know where to go. Okay, so we got to get into some things, y'all. We got some conversations that we need to have. And yes, it is early. It's early in the morning. Okay, it's early in the morning, and we definitely need to talk about this because of course it is something I've been waiting for. I don't know about you guys, but I've been waiting for this, because this kind of gives us a more of a glimpse into what the investigation looks like so far. Also, what they have. Some of the things, you know, like Ashley Banfield and other shows have been, and including mine, of course, have been talking at great details all the things that sources have been leaking, right? They've been leaking a little bit of this, leaking a little bit of that, whatever, right? And we've all been wondering, how do they have all this information? How do they know? Unless they have actual evidence or items that would make you hear or make you believe such information that's out here. Now that we have the information, it is pretty amazing. And this is just, let me say this real quick, and let me emphasize that this is only stuff that they have found in BK's parents' house. Let me say that one more time. These items have only been, these are the items that were only inside his parents' house. Pretty interesting, right? Pretty damn interesting, if I say so myself. So 63 items here. Who's to say what else they have from his home? Again, I feel that the prosecution is going to be building a very good argument. I mean, that's what I believe. I know that there's maybe lawyers out here on LawTube. Shout out to all the LawTubers. They may think different. Okay? They may believe otherwise. But in my personal opinion, I think prosecution is going to be coming up with a very, very good argument. It's going to be one hell of a trial when if it actually sees the light of day. You never know. He might, after they find all this damning information, he might just say, okay, I'm guilty. You never know, right? But then again, you never know, okay? We got to look at both sides of the fence, right? And we got to keep it even keeled and fair as much as we can, right? But real quick, hold on, real quick, before we go into this thing, I just want to make sure I share this as well, because I know notifications have been whack, and I know a lot of people are I know a lot of people right now are watching the final arguments for the Alec Murdoch case, Paw, Maggie. All that is happening right now as we speak too. So I know a lot of people are incredibly consumed with that story and that case. I totally understand. No shade in that. None whatsoever. But nonetheless, we still need to talk about this because we have been covering and watching this like crazy. So more information has come through with this. Okay. And let me see this really quick before we jump into everything. Leah just said, I've been leaning towards the more skeptical side. I admit I have knives and guns in my house too. Unless there is something linking them to the crime, I'm not putting too much importance on them. Interesting. Now, you never know. We're going to look at this because it could be anything, right? It could be anything. It could be a nothing burger. But then again, it could very well be everything that we've been looking for. Remember, this is a guy that allegedly, if he allegedly did what he did, he jumped in a car, he drove cross country, right? He drove cross country in a car with his papa, with his papa, okay? Papa Kohberger. All throughout that ride, he could have discarded all kinds of stuff. He could have gotten rid of a whole bunch of stuff en route back to his hometown, right? But we also did hear from other people, we also did hear the things that he was doing, right? He was going out of his way to clean his car. He was dumping trash across the street and other neighbors' trash, so on and so forth. There's a lot that we have to look at here before we automatically just say, oh, yeah, it's understandable to be skeptical. We all should. We should look at this in an independent and critical way, right? Use our critical thinking and be diplomatic, about this, right? But at the same time, it's not like they just went into this family's home, the Kohberger's home, and just got, their house's best steak knives out of the drawer. I just don't think it's like that. Okay. Because of what I'm going to show you guys here in a second. It's okay to be skeptical. Absolutely. Be skeptical. Ask questions. That's how we get crimes solved properly, instead of just shooting from the hip and just assuming or making excuses and saying, oh, well, he done did this because blah, 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 and that's what it is, right? And if that's what it is, that's what it is. Case closed. And then you got innocent people locked up. Even innocent people looking at the death penalty. So be skeptical. Think critically and independently, please, right? But let's take a look at this, shall we? So it says here, all right, 3 knives, a handgun, black mask, and a black hat are among the 63 items of evidence seized from Kohberger's parents' house, unsealed warrant reveals. Now, let me say this too. This is a large difference than the information that we received just about 2 days ago, I think. It was just the other day, right? When I talked about this ish. So you should be very interested in the information and the stuff that they have. And there's got to be a reason why they received or why they took certain things. They took 3 knives, y'all. 3 of them. It's not like they went and just took mama's best set of, cutlery. All right. They took 3 knives, a handgun, a black mask, and black hat among 63 other items, which we are going to be looking at here in just a second. But I'm just saying, let's be real. This right here, 3 knives. This ain't just kitchenware, all right? This isn't cooking utensils. This, to me, seems like he didn't finish what he did, possibly. Or maybe he didn't discard the weapon. Maybe he was hoping to go over back home and get rid of it in another way, right? Or maybe he's just really that dumb. That really could be it. Again, innocent till proven guilty. So this guy could be an innocent. He could be innocent. He could be, y'all. He could be innocent as hell right now. But then again, he could also be just a very, very dumb guy. A very smart, dumb guy. A brilliant idiot. Okay? As they said, he's so brilliant. He's so brilliant, everyone. He's so brilliant. Maybe this PhD in criminology just wasn't clicking in his head. You know what I'm saying? My thoughts exactly. Adelino. Exactly. He ain't no Gordon Ramsay to have 3 blades. Let's be real, okay? I used to cook, okay? I used to cook. You had a whole thing, okay? You had cutlery, all right? You had utensils. You had equipment, okay? These dudes would come in, it's all wrapped up in leather. Some of them are very, very fancy, right? And they're like, this blade was carved from the very, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, all right? And don't get me wrong, by all means, shout out to all you chefs and cooks out there, all right? Keep doing what you're doing, all right? But they treat those knives like they are their baby. Why? 1, they're expensive as hell. But 2, that's how you do your thing. What's up, Chef Jay? What's up? Keep cooking, baby. Keep on cooking. But they treat that like it's their baby, okay? It's serious. So 3 knives, to me, says something. Everybody else, I'm sure, will be out here going, I tend to disagree with you because of blah, blah, blah. This was probably on his person. No, it was not. How would he have 3 knives on his? Well, he could have 3 knives on his person if he thought he was doggone Rambo, but he ain't. Let's keep it reals. This was in his possession in some sort of way. There is no way that these cops, okay, and I know some law enforcement can do some really dumb things, all right? They make very stupid mistakes, but I guarantee you they didn't walk into the kitchen and go, yeah, let's take those 3 steak knives over there. Those look kind of sharp. Yeah, let's take that. And then that black mask that's in his mama's, in his mama's closet right there. Just grab that one too. And that black hat from his dad's room too. Take that. Nah. This stuff was in his possession. If he had these things in his possession, that is strange, y'all. And you know what, man? Y'all are so smart. Look at y'all. Y'all smart. Y'all smart. Y'all smart today. Yeah. Brainwaves are kicking today. Okay. Being a vegan, he needed veggie knife, not a carving/hunting knife. You can cut. Why would he need something that slices through flesh? Okay. Why would he need to slice through flesh if he's a doggone vegan? Somebody help me. I'm just saying. You could take a butter knife. Man, you could take one of those plastic picnic knives and cut up some veggies. Okay. You don't need, man, you could take a dull stick, okay, and cut up veggies. I know that's an exaggeration, okay? But at the same time, you don't need something that hardcore. Why would he need that? Why would he need that? Unless he was up to no good. Just saying. To me, this still screams him guilty. But then again, I could be wrong. And Leah, no. It's okay. It's okay to have an opinion. You're safe here. All right? You're safe. You're safe. So don't worry. Okay? But let's look into this. All right? Still, no matter what, still very, very strange to me. Okay? Vegans. See, Debbie said, true. Us vegetarians don't mess with meat. You don't mess with the meat. Okay? You just don't. Period. You just don't. Okay? It just doesn't make sense. And hey, shout out to all you vegetarians and vegans out there. I hope y'all are good. And if you are using, I mean, I get it. You got to use some knives for some things, but you don't really need it for this stuff. Do you need steak knives and stuff like that to cut into vegetables? I'm going to say no. I'm just going to veer on the side of no, just personally. Okay. So remember earlier, a couple days ago, someone did make a good point where they were saying, because we were talking about how he was wearing, how they retrieved shoes, size 13s, Nikes for some of y'all. He was wearing, he had black pants, underwear, or actually it was shorts and boxers, if I'm correct, all Under Armour. And there was a couple other items that was in that list. And somebody in the comments said, and it was a smart point, right? They said, well, that stuff could have been on his person. That could have been on his body. But they also received 4 surgical gloves, a flashlight. You know, I just heard a torch from my brothers and sisters across the pond. And I'm sitting here going like, well, hold up. Somebody make that make sense. How would he have a torch on his body? And black surgical gloves. Let's not forget that too. To me, he's going in there. The cops went in there, found him chilling, probably watching Maury Povich, as I said before, hanging out with his parents, bored out of his skull. And they arrested him. And while being in there, that's the stuff that they grabbed, including these 63 other doggone items. Okay? So they say in these bullets, it says Pennsylvania police released the full list in an unsealed warrant on Thursday. It includes, we're going to go into that, all right? But I will say this too, because some people were like, well, because it was a couple days ago, and some of y'all were like, well, it doesn't say anything about a cell phone. Guess what? They got the cell phone, baby. Okay? So it could possibly be real from the source that Ashley Banfield and other reporters have been putting out there, saying that he had photos of somebody. A lot of people, including myself, are thinking that it may be Madison, right? Photos of her in his phone, okay? So let's not forget that part. A note from Bryan to Dad was also taken, but its contents are unknown. Yo, come on, man. Come on, babies. Come on. I still got my running pants on. Hold on. I don't have my full fit on. You feel me? You see? Still got my running pants on. Seriously. Found this out, and I came in here. I didn't run in here, but, I came in here. I sauntered in here quite chill. Gingerly placed my bottom onto this chair and turned this thing on and got started with you guys. But look at that. Do you see that? There's a note from Bryan to Dad, from Bryan to Papa. What could he be saying in this note? And I can't wait when they unseal that note. Now, it's funny because remember we had Bryan to first, right? Bryan Laundrie, that little piece of work, right? Remember Mama wrote him a letter and it said basically like burn after reading. So what are the chances of him basically saying, I ain't going to do that. Hold up, Nicole. You just want a show. Hold up, though. All right. I'm just saying. Dag nabbit. Yes, I said that. I said moist. Damn it. It's for comedy. Damn. Damn it, Tyler. Anyway, you guys are throwing me off. Shut up. You're throwing me off. So remember when Bryan the first, was out here. All right. The mother wrote a letter to him and it said, burn after reading, basically. Burn this after you read it, whatever it was, right? So, what do you think could possibly be in this letter? And when it does happen, it's going to be epic when that gets if that gets released. Could that letter be a confessional? Could it be? These are the questions that I'm asking. I just got to ask these questions. I got to ask these questions, all right? Because that's what matters. Let's get into this article, shall we? So, full list of items seized by Pennsylvania police from BK's parents' house was revealed on Thursday, today, and includes multiple knives, a handgun with ammunition, and a black mask. Now, a handgun with ammunition is not that shocking. I mean, obviously, that goes hand in hand. It's like peanut butter and jelly, It makes sense. Peanut butter and bread. Let's just start there. Okay, and if you fancy like me, it's peanut butter and honey. But I'm just fancy. Maybe you guys are just jelly people. It's okay. And some of y'all who are jam, good on you. Okay. But it comes hand in hand. But still, a handgun nonetheless, which I do find very interesting, because none of the four tragically lost their lives by gun. So it's interesting that he may have had this the entire time, but you know what I mean? And gamer lover, yeah, bruh. Bruh should read a book on how to do M for dummies. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he's just dumb. Like, they say he was so like a genius. And you know what? I challenge that. I challenge the whole, oh, he was a genius. Let me tell you this. I feel like they just added this stuff in there to say, to make him more diabolical, right? To paint him to be more of this evildoer. What if he was just an idiot who just thought he was really smart? What if he was just an idiot? That's it. I mean, still, again, this is all alleged, but at the same time, all this stuff that's coming out, I mean, you can't fight it, baby. To me, this leans at him guilty. And if you agree with me, please use it. And if you agree with me and you are a member of the show, use that him guilty emoji. If you agree with me. If you disagree, it's okay. You'll come back around. But still, to me, some just him guilty. That's what I think. But let's continue. All right. Enough of this lollygagging. All right. Kohberger, obviously, we already know, was arrested in Albrightsville on the 30th of December after driving from Idaho to Pennsylvania. Okay. Cops tied him to the gruesome quadruple M of the 4 college kids after tracking his white Hyundai to the scene. Let me just say this too before we're gonna get into this. Okay, let me just say this. He had the car. I don't know. A lot of this might be like it just lays out in front of you like, come on, y'all. Come on. You can't tell me. Come on. Him guilty. But I have to say, allegedly. But you know where my thoughts lie. I don't think he's going to get out of this. I really don't. Unless the items that we're going to see here in just a minute are nothing. Right? But, let me take some of this coffee. Well, let's get into this, okay? Now, they say that the murder weapon was not recovered at the house, which is interesting because you see that they say, but the newly unsealed warrant reveals cops seized 3 knives from Bryan Kohberger's parents' property, including one in another sheath. See what I'm saying? This man, like, we already know that he, from what we've heard from reporters and how they've reported this guy, like he's been very hardcore with, at least back in the day, it was like he wanted to be a soldier. He wanted to be a cop at one point. There's a lot here that tells you that this guy probably collected a lot of things. He collected a lot of weaponry probably. And not weapons that go pew pew, but weapons that don't make any sound, but are very, very dangerous if you're skilled at using those things. I'm just saying. It's very interesting, y'all. Very, very interesting. Okay. Police also seized a black mask, which is not dissimilar to the black ski mask described by the surviving roommate who saw the monster leave the scene on November 13th. And we're going to be going through this list here in just a minute. Look at that. It's a whole doggone list. Come on, man. Come on. And that's another thing, too, I found very, very interesting as well, is this part here that he might be facing if found guilty, he could face possibly a firing squad. Like what? Interesting. But we're going to get into that here in a second. And we're going to go through all the lists. All right. So, they say they seized 63 items from the parents' house, and some of them include knife, Smith & Wesson pocket knife, a Glock 22 Gen S 40 caliber gun, a three Glock 40 caliber magazines, black face masks, plural, by the way, black gloves, black hat, and black mask. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, okay? It's just the tip. Multiple items of clothing, books, documents, bills, and prescriptions were also seized as part of the investigation. Police had been watching Kohberger for days before they raided the house in the early hours of December 30th. The 28-year-old criminal psychology student is due back in court. We already know about that. He is accused. We already know that, of course. Police say they not only traced his car to the scene, but they also matched a DNA sample to Kohberger's, which we already know that piece as well. Another search warrant was unsealed earlier this week revealed cops also took a flashlight, medical gloves, and Kohberger's underwear. Yes. And the thing is we already knew that piece as well. We already knew that they were going to take the clothes that were going to be on his body, etc. But the thing is that, as we already know now, because a lot of people out here are going, oh, it was just his clothes that were on his body. So, okay, you got DNA from the clothes that were on his person. So big deal. No. There's a whole lot more. And we did say that, like, there's got to be more to this than just those few items. That's ridiculous for them to think that that's it. That'd be ridiculous, right? And then this is the list. So let's get into this list. I might go back down to that one. What the heck? I might go back down to that one again. Oh, and they just changed it. But it says cops seized a shovel. That's just me refreshing this doggone thing. Okay, they changed the title as of reporting this, which is very, very interesting. So they said cops seized a shovel from BK's white Hyundai, along with 63 items of evidence from his parents' house, including 3 knives, a handgun, and a black mask. Interesting. And Leah, thank you so much for telling me that as well. Hold on, I'm trying to get my mouse over there. Yes, you didn't get a notification. I feel like that is an ongoing issue, guys. So every single time, please make sure, at least for right now, click and unclick. You see what I'm saying? Click that, unclick, turn off that notification bell, and turn it right back on so that you know when I go live or when I upload something. I don't know what's going on. Again, I have no idea what's going on. It's very, very frustrating, but because people are not tuning in or coming into the show as much as they used to anymore, there's some weird glitch that's going on, and it's angering the heck out of me. And I know that it is also happening to a couple other content creators as well, and it's frustrating. So if you guys can do me that favor, please share. Please let people know. If you're on Twitters or on the whatevers, any chat forums or whatnot that you're on, if you can just share, that would really, really mean a lot too, because I work hard, okay? And I'd love to be able to get the word out there with my family, that I'm used to having here, especially on these topics, okay? On the other random ones, I get it. But when it comes to this kind of topic, I know that I usually get a good amount of people coming through to talk and hear the new information. See, Cloud, I'm late. I didn't receive a notification. I don't know what the heck is going on. You see what I'm saying? So Cloud, thank you so much for letting me know that too. I've been getting people who have been sending me DMs and stuff like that as well. It's very, very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So please be sure to hit that notification bell, like turn it off and turn it right back on immediately, because it's been acting a fool lately. I don't know. I might even reach out to YouTube themselves and just be like, "Sup, dough," because it's getting ridiculous. Real quick, I want to say a big thank you to. Laura Estrada for gifting one person, for gifting one membership. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Welcome to the family. Who got it? Zozo Bob. Yes, welcome to the family, Zozo Bob. Yeah. See, Zan says, I was unsubscribed. I don't remember that. See, I don't know what's going on. There's a weird glitch. I know that there's management is restructuring, within the tubes. So I keep thinking that maybe they're being a little bit lazy on things. I really don't know. But it's annoying as hell and it's frustrating. And Candy, I appreciate that you like the applause sound, because clapping every time myself, it's like. So I was like, let me make sure I have an applause sound here so I can make this show a little bit more interactive. Okay. So yes, I be bougie as hell. What are you talking about, girl? Didn't you already know that? I thought you got the memo, baby. Damn it, Ner. I thought you got the memo. All right. So again, let me know if you haven't, if you realized that or found out, just hit those things. That would really mean a lot. Okay. And I'm sure someone, USA Kiwi 1986, I'm sure somebody in the family, I'm sure maybe Nur can explain that to you in the chat. But we got to get into the conversation, okay? And I appreciate everybody for being here. This is just insane. And it's frustrating, okay? Yeah, Zozo Bob, notification came on. Then it says you're not online. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. It's frustrating the hell out of me. Okay. Cause I don't like it, of course. And this is how I keep my lights on. You know what I'm saying? So, or it's part of what I use to keep my lights on. So yeah, guys, if you guys can just share, make sure you have the notification bells on and all that stuff. That would really mean a lot. And make sure you're subscribed too, because for some odd reason, they just keep doing weird glitchy stuff and it's very, very aggravating. Anyway, but as you can see in this title here, okay, the title even changed. So now they said a shovel, okay? A shovel was seized from Bryan Kohberger's white Hyundai, along with 63 other items of evidence at his parents' house, and that includes 3 knives, a handgun, and a black mask. Okay, so we're gonna go back into this because maybe they changed some things. Now it says they have a full list of the evidence seized down below, so we are going to be looking at that here as well. And this is insane, y'all. This is absolutely insane. All right, so I already said all this stuff, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, they just changed it. That's so crazy. So, okay, they went to the parents' house. What has been revealed on Thursday that they have a bunch of stuff that includes multiple knives, a handgun and ammunition, or a handgun with ammunition and a black mask. But police also seized a shovel from the accused monster's white Hyundai Elantra, along with multiple Ziploc bags, hiking boots, and a wrench. Now, a wrench, I don't know what that could possibly mean. Hiking boots could be anything. All right. Ziploc bags, God only knows what could be in those Ziploc bags or what he was going to use those Ziploc bags for. Okay. But one thing that does, tickle my fancy is the fact that he had a shovel in the back of his car. Again, this is something that I had not read in the list as of yet. So this is very interesting to me, in my personal opinion. But I will say this. I know some other people will go, well, maybe the shovel means that he likes to plant things. It could mean so many different things. Maybe he was just trying to give back to the planet by planting some trees. And maybe that's what the Ziploc bags are for the seeds. Let me tell you. No. Sorry. I will give you all that. I will throw it out there. Okay. Maybe it was for some trees. Or maybe he wants to make a tomato plant. I'm sorry, but no. No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he had a green thumb in that way, but I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. All right? But no. But everybody, there's going to be people out here going, well, making excuses, but no buts. A shovel, hiking boots, a wrench could be in anything. Ziploc bags could mean anything. But the shovel, though, that's a bit weird. Unless he was planning on taking whatever he had left that he didn't get a chance to get rid of before his trip, or that he didn't get a chance to get rid of on the trip, he was planning on taking that shovel, going out in the middle of the woods, hence the hiking boots, to bury them items. And, gamer lover, you know what? Yeah, maybe he's not. maybe he's a tree hugger. I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry, no. I don't know. Carrie just said, I live in a snow state. You have to keep a shovel in your car in case you get stuck in the snow. Part of emergency kit. Sorry. You know what? That's a good point too. That could be that's a good point. That's a good point. And it's wintertime, or during that time, it was wintertime. That could be it too. That could. I didn't think of it like that. Good point. Very, very good point. But still, though, I don't know. Everything else, though, I'm just saying, okay, sure. The shovel could be used for snow, right? To shovel snow. Then explain the multiple knives. Explain the handgun where you're going to shoot yourself out of the snow. You know what I mean? So, and the black mask. But then again, a lot of people wear masks all the time. We are still in the world of the panty, right? We all still trying to avoid the Rona, right? We could play that game all day long and jump through hoops. But for me, this to me screams no. It still screams him guilty. Just in my personal opinion. I'm sorry. There's too many things that are connected to this whole thing that screams to me, yeah. But of course, he was arrested at his parents' house, which we already know. We already know this photo and the multiple memes and variations people have been using with the AI thing, giving him different looks. And of course, here's the list, which we're going to get into. I was hoping that they were going to give us more information about this note, because remember in the top, and I'm trying to find where that is. It says, and let me highlight this for you guys. A note from dad, or a note from Bryan to dad, was also taken, but its contents are unknown. So where is there's no conversation of that, which I find excruciatingly annoying. Okay? Excruciatingly annoying. But I'm going to go through this one more time to see if there's anything that says anything about that note. Nothing so far, but let's go into this list. Let's take a look at this list, shall we? So here's the full list of evidence taken from Bryan Kohberger's. I'm thinking that they mean Bryan Kohberger's parents' house. So here it is: a knife, book with underlining on page 118. Now I wonder, what was the book, and what is the passage that he had underlined, right? AT&T bill for Bryan C. Kohberger. Glock 22, all right, 40 caliber. Smith & Wesson pocket knife. Folder containing vehicle paperwork. Obviously, that makes sense. Okay, it's in the car, and that's natural. That's what we all have. Registration and whatnot. Acer laptop. Seems like he has a lot of laptops. He's got a lot of computers and laptops, it seems like, because the information that they retrieved, or some of the information that they retrieved in his home, there was like a computer and all that stuff. It just seems like he has a lot of stuff. But let's see. Green leafy substance in green container. That could be Mary Jane. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably kale. Documents. Green leafy substance in plastic bag. White paper with password. Password to what? We don't know. Power cable. Cell phone. 3 Glock 40 caliber magazines. Those were empty. Interesting. Vooks. I don't know what the hell is a Vook. What's a Vooks? Y'all know what a Vook is? What is Vooks? I see a children's thing. Maybe it's a spelling error. Maybe it is hooks. Because I was about to say, why would he have kid stuff? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway. And yes, I mean, it could be kale. Nicole, it could be kale. It could be kale. He vegan. You think he's just eating just regular iceberg lettuce all day long? I'm sure he tries to spice it up. Dang. I ain't doing him dirty. Damn. I'm just saying, quite possibly, maybe. Okay. Maybe it's a typo for books. And probably is books. But Vooks, I looked it up. It's like a children's show. Or a children's app. Yeah, I think it's an app for storybooks for kids. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Black face mask. Prescription. I wonder what prescription he was on, what kind of medication he's taking. Black gloves, 1 black hat, 1 black mask. Let me just say this again. Black face masks, and I understand we all wear, okay? We all wear masks, okay? To a certain extent. When you go to the hospital, especially when you go to public places and they still are, asking for you to wear a mask walking in and all that, that makes sense, all right? But still, black face masks, very specific. Black gloves. Now, I understand that he is also OCD like a mugger, all right? So there's a possibility of him wanting things to always match, right? That OCD in him. So that doesn't mean an admittance of guilt, but at the same time, I don't know, it's plural. That's a lot, that's black face masks, black gloves, right? We also got to remember it was surgical gloves that he got as well. All right. So 1 black hat, 1 black mask, which I don't understand why there's 2 different ones. Because wouldn't this 1 black mask just be up here with the black face masks? So I wonder what that is. Maybe it's a full thing. I don't know. All right. Personal identifying documents, New Balance shoes. Remember, he had his Nikes, okay, size 13s, but he also has New Balance shoes. And New Balance, they're sneakers. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're the most expensive kicks out there, but still, New Balance shoes, dark colored jacket, dark jeans, dark colored shirts, dark colored pants, clear plastic glove, laptop with damage. Now remember, laptop with damage, Acer laptop. So he had 2 laptops. So one was in good condition and another one was all jacked up. That seems a little bit weird to me. Record of sale, Glock 22. The record of the sale of the gun that he has. Item photographed but not taken. Interesting. Note in desk. Criminal psychology book. Documents. Extra large Columbia Navy fleece. See, now this is the note in desk grabs my attention as well. Is this the note that they're talking about? It's a bit weird. Like I said, I got questiones. I got questions, okay? So note in desk. So what is that note? Criminal psychology book, documents, extra large Columbia Navy fleece, a man's hand drawing. Interesting. 10 non-legible inside glove, inside box. I don't know what the hell. Hold on. I'm going to come back to this list because it's written clearer than these. But yeah, because look at that. That is some scratch. Look at that. This is chicken scratch, y'all. How can anyone read this crap? I'm just being real. How can anyone read this ish? So I'm going to go back to that list. So they're probably trying to make out what was given to them, what was written, but that's all chicken scratch. Let's get back to where we were. But that's weird. 10 non-legible inside glove, inside box. Make that make sense. Various criminology books, notes, license card, dark color hats, black gloves, motherboard, Washington State University paperwork, note from Bryan from Montana, medical documents, court documents, note to dad from Bryan. I think that's pretty big in my personal opinion, because then it makes you wonder what did he write? What was contained? What information was contained in that note? Unless it was like, "Hi, Dad, everything's good." I mean, but that's strange. Why would the note to dad from Bryan? I mean, well, it is in that house. So that is very interesting. So color spiral notebook, dark colored clothes, HP all-in-one computer, dark clothes in laundry basket, a lot of dark clothes, Taylor cutlery knife with leather sheath. Again, Taylor cutlery knife with leather sheath right there. Okay. That to me is very, very interesting as well. So 4 buckle swabs, which is the cheek swabs, which I learned a couple days ago, thanks to you guys. 2 pair of dark colored boots, 1 pair of brown boots. Now, from the Elantra. So this is all just from inside the crib. Okay. Which is a lot of very interesting stuff. And I'm sure, breaking it all the way down, I'm sure you can find something crazy in those things. But from what I see here, to me, this sounds like they just took everything that they had from his room. And I will say this too, real quick. When we talk about this, where's my mouse? When we talk about note to dad from Bryan, let's talk about that really quick, because there's another one a couple items above that says note from Bryan from Montana. So let's talk about that for 2 seconds, because I know some people are going to take that and run with it. So I'm going to throw my skeptical side of things too. We got to think of this critically, right? We got to think of it on both sides of the fence. So let's talk about this real quick. Note from to dad from Bryan. And then, of course, the note from Bryan from Montana. Let's talk about that. That could mean nothing. And then again, it could mean everything. Let's be real. This situation here, he could very well, it could be a letter of confession, this one, or it could be a letter from him in general that just was in that house. So they just grabbed whatever they could. Okay? They grabbed whatever they could from his home. And I guarantee you, I don't think that they just went and ransacked the entire house and just took, like I said, cutlery from mom's kitchen, right? I feel like some of these things, especially like the Taylor cutlery knife with leather sheath, I think that was in his crib. I think that was in his actual room, his actual bedroom. And they took that. As far as the note from dad or the note to dad, Papa had that in his own room. Or maybe it was written. Maybe it was written and it was in the desk in his house or in his bedroom. That could very well be it too, where there's a confessional. And maybe he was planning on doing something else. Maybe he was planning on not coming back. Maybe he was planning on going on a hike and never coming back. Think about this. He had a firearm. There were no bullets, but I'm sure he could go and obtain some bullets. What are the chances of him actually doing that? Going in, getting his stuff together, leaving a letter, packing up, whatever, going on a hike and never coming back. A Bryan Laundrie thing. What are the chances of that? What are the chances of that? You got to remember too. Yeah, the Bryan Laundrie escape. Exactly. What are the chances of him actually knowing, one, because you got to remember the information that we received recently, okay, a few weeks ago about, from a source saying that he had lost his gig as a TA because he was terrible, because he was a nightmare to deal with, right? What are the chances of him actually feeling like, okay, after he did what he did, he gets fired from his TA position. So I'm thinking that all the amenities that he was given for being a TA, which most likely covered his housing and whatnot, maybe he thought that there was no point of him going back. And of course, if he is the man this monster that did these things to these four, what if he said, there's nothing left. I have nothing left. There's no point in me being on this planet anymore. I'm just going to take a long walk, a long hike or whatever, and not return. I'm going to write this letter to my dad. Maybe it's a confessional. Maybe it's not. But I'm going to say what I need to say. And I'm going to go somewhere and not come back. Just saying. I mean, the note grabs my attention a lot. Because, of course, we can sit here and go, okay, cutlery knife. Whoa, with the leather sheath. And, of course, we're all doing that. Going, whoa, right? We're looking at all the dark clothing, right? We're looking at the other things that are in there. But the two notes do grab my attention. Now, somebody just said something that was very, very smart. Very good point. Where did it go? And I'm going to get to the super chats, I promise, because I know there's one from way a long time ago I need to get to. But there we go. Terry just said this. Now, is that Montana the state, or is that a person named Montana? That's a very good question as well. And I wish I had the answer for y'all, but I don't know. Because this is all information. This is all brand new. And so it makes you wonder, could Montana be a person? Could be guy or girl? Or was he in the state of Montana and he sent like a note or like a little postcard? Greetings from Montana, you know what I mean? Hey, mom and dad, I'm doing good. I'm in Montana. You know what I'm saying? But the one that really grabs my attention right there is note to dad from Bryan. We still don't know what the contents of that is, but to me, I'd really like to know what the hell that is. Okay? What's contained in that letter. And it could really be nothing. It literally can be just like, hey, dad, I'm here and I'm whatever. It could be like, I'm having a hard time in school. You know, I'm having a hard time over here. Or it could literally be a letter of admitting, maybe, or alluding to something bad, being a part of something bad or doing something bad, or just maybe it's a letter just explaining himself on why he lost his TA job at WSU. That could be it too. But why would he have a weapon, a firearm with him? That just seems a bit weird. Again, this was in the house. Let me repeat that one more time. That was in the house. So let's get into what was found in the car. And we're going to go through this again to look at this again, okay? I have so many questions and we don't have any answers. So all we can do is just kind of look at this and just ask questions, right? Ask the questions. What I'm saying here is not scripture. These are just questions that I think a lot of people are going to be asking. People are going to be obsessing over the items. People are going to be, I'm already predicting this right now. People are going to be obsessing over the note to dad from Bryan. Everyone and their mama's going to be doing that because this reminds me exactly of the Bryan laundry situation. Bryan the first, okay, with his mama. And it was the whole burn after reading situation, okay? That was unbelievable, but it was very real. So there's a possibility that this could be a burn after reading type of situation, okay? But let's keep going. Swabs. Ziploc bag with pink zipper. Plastic baggie with green zipper. 4 quarters. 36 dimes. Did they just misspell dimes? Okay, they did. 36 dimes. All right. 36 dimes. 32 nickels, 8 pennies, gloves, which I'm wondering, are they surgical gloves or are they regular-ish gloves? Because it'd be cold out here. And he's going from one cold place to another cold place. We have to be real on that. And the shovel part did make me realize that that's a good point, that the shovel could just be there to shovel themselves out of the snow, which is a possibility as well. Okay. But shovel does scream strange to me. Okay. But moving on, I'm still wondering, gloves, what kind of gloves? But of course, they're very specific on other parts, so I don't know. Receipts, which could be anything, but then again, those receipts are important. Those receipts could literally be those receipts could literally show him going to a Marshall's or a TJ Maxx, a Kohl's, wherever, and getting dark clothing specifically for said crime, or before he went and committed said crime. Okay. And yes, Candy, whose glove is this? Whose glove is this? Yep. All day long. All day long. Okay. Car insurance card, car registration, hockey boots, hiking boots, comfort in room key holder and stay information, tire irons, shovel, goggles, interesting goggles, googles, floor mats, reflective vest. You got to remember, he was a runner. He's a runner. So don't forget, the goggles is a bit strange. But as far as a reflective vest, he could be running at night, so he's wearing a reflective vest so he doesn't get hit by cars. It's totally normal. That's a totally normal thing. I mean, runners will wear reflective-ish so they can get away, not get hit by rides when they're running at night. Okay. Used water bottles, a wrench, door panel. What? Maybe they took the door panel out off of the car, because that seems a little bit weird. That seems a bit weird. The door panel, like he just had a random ass door panel in his ride, just randomly, just chilling there all by itself, just door panel. Like that seems a little bit weird, don't you think? Okay. He's a track star. Yes, he's a track star. Okay. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching all the way from Germany. Okay. Goggles is incredibly nondescript. Swim goggles, safety goggles, snow goggles. Exactly. And then in my mind, I'm like, I can prep to why snow goggles, even safety goggles. Like he ain't a scientist. You see what I'm saying? It makes no doggone sense. It just don't. But here, real quick, let me get to these super chats. Real quick. We're going to continue. We're taking a small break on this. Okay. We're not going anywhere, but I know some of you guys put in some super chats and I just have not even remotely acknowledged them. And I feel like a jerk. Okay. So let me just get these real quick. Leah, thank you so much for the 5. LOL. He might be an idiot who thought he was a genius. That could be it too. It wouldn't be the first time hubris took someone down. Absolutely. See, and like I said, he could literally be a brilliant idiot. He could be so brilliant, but then so stupid at the same doggone time. And that's the problem of it all. Actually, that's the wonderment of it all, actually, because you're right. Sometimes man can be its own, what's the word? Let me just say this way. Man can really shoot themselves in the foot by their own hubris, for sure. Man can really do some stupid things, okay? And then all of a sudden get caught. But they think that what they did was so brilliant. There's no way I could get away with this. And it's like, no, you definitely, you did that. You did that. Doesn't matter how smart you are. You an idiot. You just dumb. You dumb, bro. You dumb. But anyway, I can prep too. Thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. Jury just went to location. Yep, they did in Murdaugh case. Is it dumb to demolish the crime scene in it? Yeah. See, I was thinking about doing that as a discussion topic this morning. Because obviously they're wrapping up, they're doing their closing arguments and everything. But then I was like, you know what? I need to talk about this because this just broke literally as I'm walking into the crib. But there's something about this that I keep saying, why demolish? Don't worry, we're going back to the list. Don't worry. But let me just say this really quick. Why demolish the house? I even saw articles where they're basically saying like that house, the Murdaugh Moselle hunting house, whatever you want to call it, hunting grounds, whatever you want to call that thing. It was like it was frozen in time. Like nothing was touched. Everything is exactly as it is, as it was. Nothing's changed. So that the jury walked in, they were able to see it with their own 2 eyes and be there at the crime scene so they can form their own opinions about if he's guilty or not. If you destroy this house, if you demolish the crime scene, then you're demolishing any possibility of maybe helping the case. I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it at all. Demolishing the house. I think is very, very dumb. And it's not going to help prosecution. It's going to help defense. And they could very well do what exactly they just did here and on the OJ case. They took the jury to the place so that they can physically be there and see the scene and be a part of, and actually get, instead of just visualizing it in their minds, they're actually seeing the physical scene. And if they demolish this, I think it would be very, very dumb. I hope they don't do that. I hope that they don't do it at all. Okay. But Andrea, thank you so much for the €250. I really do appreciate it. And I got another one here. Another one. Mimi, thank you so much for the 2 Swiss. I appreciate it. 2 Swiss bucks. I'll just say it like that. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much. Let's get back into this here. Okay. And all super chats are very, very, very appreciated. So thank you guys so very much. It really does mean a lot. Thank you. Moving on. Oh, and don't forget, I got to do this. It's been a little bit since I said it. So please be sure to hit that like button down below. Okay. Send it past 300 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. All right. It helps with the show. Hopefully other people are getting the notification, letting them know that I'm here, for crying out loud. Oh, it's Swiss francs. Thank you. Thank you. It's Swiss francs. I need to get that in my brain. So Mimi, thank you so much for the Swiss francs. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Gracias. Isn't that French? I'm kidding. It's not. Merci beaucoup. I appreciate it. But hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes. A like doesn't cost a thing, but it does help with the algorithm, letting people know about this doggone show. All right. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button. All right. That'd be appreciated as well. Oh, and one more thing. I did a video yesterday, late last night. I threw it up. It was a pop-up video. It's about Chris Rock and his stand-up show live with Netflix. Apparently, he's going to be talking about Will Smith. I kind of put in my own 2 cents about it, but I had some questions for you guys. So please go check out that pop-up video when this show is over. Because again, people are not getting notifications, man. They're trying to take this man down for some weird reason. It's terrible. Okay. And all I want to do is grow. I just want to grow, guys. I want to spread the message of positivity and goodness, and nobody wants that to happen, man. Damn. So help brother out by hitting that like button, and of course, go and check out that video if you can. Okay. I appreciate it so very much. No. That's when I was on when I went to the stadium. Last night I went to the stadium and I did a live, Debbie. That's different. That one I put up only on the members side. So you guys can actually go check that out. I went down to Busch Stadium, got to be right there on the diamond on the field, the Cardinals baseball field. It was really dope. And I did a live like right there on the side of the baseball field. So go and check that out. If you're a member, that's available right now as well. Anyway, moving on. Let's get back into this. Okay, so they took the door panel. I'm assuming it's the door panel that I'm assuming it's the door panel that was on his driver's side, because I'm sure he touches it a lot and all that, and he probably leaves a lot of DNA. Probably left a lot of DNA on that door, which is totally, totally understandable. Okay. But seats and cushions, okay. Headrests makes sense. Seatbelt makes sense because he's touching those things a lot. His head is on the headrest, like the seat he's sitting in. He's leaning in the car. His DNA, his sweat, etc., all up in that. Okay. Visor, fiber, which could mean so many different things. That could be a hair fiber? I mean, I don't know what that really means, but I got questiones. Okay, I got a lot of questions on that. Brake pedal, which makes sense. Gas pedal, phone charger, Band-Aid, wrappers, maps, documents, seatbelt, boot. Okay. Now, this is from what was previously released, which we talked about a couple days ago, right? Because we were all like, oh my God, we all lost our minds a little bit. But at least it was something instead of it just being some salacious title, We are actually seeing some information, which I think is very, very interesting. Okay. But yes, they took his brake pedal. Yeah. They took his, yes, Ace. Ace. Yeah, let's go back to that really quick. They took his brake pedal. They took his gas pedal. Hell yeah, they took his stuff. That stuff. You got to remember, he's going into that place, Ace. He's going into that place, that house, allegedly doing what he did, right? He goes into that house doing what he did. And then he jumps into that car. And if he's as dumb as I think he is, allegedly, remember, innocent until proven guilty. But if he's not as smart as I think he is, he's not, before he gets into the car, putting on little booties or changing his shoes and throwing the sneakers or the shoes that he was wearing away. He's jumping in the car and driving out into these wilderness streets. So he may think that he's going to go in there and scrub the pedals, but you never know. He may not have completely cleaned off any of these things. So when they are describing the gas pedal, brake pedal, the visor, seatbelt, headrest, seats, and seat cushions, the door panel, all of those items that they show right there, those are all driver's. I mean, I'm assuming are all driver's side, because that's where he was in. That's where he was at. He was sitting in it, driving the ride, all that stuff. And there's a possibility that if he was vigorously cleaning his car, he may have missed this one small, little speck. One little speck. All they need is one speck. All they need is one hair fiber, right? And they got him. So that's why I keep going back to this other one, which is it's under visor. Fiber. What is fiber? What fiber are they talking about? And that could mean so many different things, but what is fiber, right? And then all the other stuff. Because you never know. He could have cleaned everything and forgot to clean the brake pedal. He could have cleaned everything, and in the throes of trying to quickly and vigorously clean this stuff up, then maybe he touched the visor. Maybe there's something on the seatbelt that he didn't clean. Anything is possible when it comes to this stuff. But let's get into this last part here. So these are the items that we previously talked about before, but we're going to go into it again. And yes, fiber is good for you guys. It helps you poo. Moving on. From previously unsealed warrant, okay? 1 silver flashlight, 4 medical style gloves, white Arizona Jean Company large t-shirt, Champion WSU large black sweatshirt, a pair of black and white size 13 Nike shoes, pair of black Under Armour socks, Under Armour black large shorts, Under Armour black boxers, large, and 1 buckle swab, which is a chic swab. But I'm wondering, because obviously a lot of these things aren't in the list that we were just looking at, this long ass list. Okay. So it does make you wonder, why did they, of course, how separate is all this stuff, right? How much of this stuff is in this list and how much of it is not? But this is very, very weird, y'all. Amanda just said, he could be innocent and I could be the first female American pope. Yeah, I'm just saying, anything's It's a shot in the dark of him being innocent. Like to me, a lot of the roads are going down a lot of things are pointing down the road of him guilty. I said it. I don't care. And if there's something that comes out that shows us different, then I promise you, I will be first on the show going, okay, listen, man, I was wrong. My bad, guys. He innocent. Him innocence. But I got something else to show you guys though, real quick too. Now, there's some other information here, guys, that was released last night and all that. So I'm going to give it to you guys as well, okay? To give you guys the information that you need, all right? But this is interesting too. X-Boss says Kohberger struggled to interact in job as fish cutter. Now, there's nothing wrong with somebody out here having a job as a fishmonger. Nothing wrong with that in the fish industry and all that. But that's weird, though. It's interesting because he's vegan, right? But outside of that, let me show that to you guys again. Outside of that, that does show that he was getting some higher learning on how to use sharp objects. I'm just saying. And oh, Tyler, you just took it from me. Damn. Yeah, you could say it's fishy. I was just about to say, ain't that a little fishy? Don't you think? Smells fishy. But yeah. I mean, and of course, this is from Xbox. I keep saying Xbox. X-Boss. Okay. So let's take a look at this, shall we? Interesting. Years before he was fired from his job as a teaching assistant at Washington State University, accused monster BK struggled in social interactions in his job as a fish cutter at a lake, according to his former boss. Charles Conklin, owner of the Big Brown Fish and Pay Lakes, told News Nation that BK was hired as a seasonal employee to work at the lake in Effort, Pennsylvania in 2011 when Kohberger was in high school. Part of the job included filleting fish for customers whom Kohberger struggled to interact with, Conklin said. He wasn't able to make eye contact with customers and be friendly to them, Conklin said. Let me say that again. He wasn't able to make eye contact with customers and be friendly to them, Conklin said. Prosecutors allege, we already know this, in his job at the lake in 2011, Kohberger was tasked with filleting fish among other duties. Conklin told People magazine that he, quote unquote, never warmed up and got friendly. So he was just a dick. He was withdrawn and didn't show improvement, Conklin added. Now, retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer, also a family member of the show, says that familiarization with a knife could be important for understanding the crime. She said, as an investigator, you're looking at not only why did they commit a crime, but how did they commit a crime and their weapon of choice. Why not manual S? I can't use that word. Or using a ligature or even blunt force trauma. But no, he chose a knife. And when I saw this as saw this on when I saw this on this application, I thought, wow, he has at least a familiarization with knives, comfortable enough to seek employment using one. I'm just saying. Very, very interesting. Records obtained by Coffin Daffer and provided to News Nation also show that Kohberger worked as a security guard. We already know about that too. That's the state in which he grew up in and where he was arrested at his parents' home. I think it's really important because we've known he was book smart, but now we know he's had practical application thereof. So he's already somebody that was not very friendly with people at all. He was already somebody who was not giving people eye contact. Again, he already had a history of being socially awkward. Now, being socially inept, it does not mean that he's the bad guy. But when you hear about somebody who has a job as a fish cutter, knows how to gut, knows how to do all that stuff, right? I think it's like how to dress a fish. Isn't that what it is? Hunters out there, please let me know if I'm wrong. But when you hear something like that, it does scream to me that this guy has knife skills. You wouldn't be getting that job if you didn't know what you were doing, or that you wouldn't go and learn the job, learn from that job how to use a knife properly. So to me, this shows knife skills, and that is some serious ish. Oh, that's a deer. Okay. I was wrong. Well, then you know how to gut a fish. Okay. He knows how to cut, knows how to gut and do all that stuff, right? When it comes to a fish. And that's a big thing, guys, in my personal opinion. That says a lot. Okay. That says a lot here to me. But then it also makes me wonder, could this be the moment that he, I don't know, decided to go vegan? Think about it. Maybe he just got grossed out by fish, and suddenly he just went vegan. That could be it. That could very well be it. But still, that does not change the fact that he has knife skills. But it could be the thing where he's like, oh, I don't like doing this anymore. Ugh, this is gross. If I see another fish, I might hurl. He might do that. Okay. I Can Prep 2 said, my 12-year-old niece cleans her own fish, Pascal. Man, that's amazing. And then just be careful. She got knife skills too. Be careful now. All right. But still, just something to think about for sure. But let me play a little bit of Cuomo. Why not? Let's hear what he got to say. Oops. Hold on real quick. I'm sorry. This is a random question. Oh, no sound? No sound? Oh, dag nabbit. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on. Dang it. One more again. Okay. But the title, real quick, the title of this guy's store, I'm going to ask it again here. Hold on. I'm going to pause it in a second. Give me 2 seconds. Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this.
Right. If you've been wondering how Bryan Kohberger was allegedly able to stab 4 Idaho college students to death in just a few minutes, well, it's a big question for the prosecution to explain to the rest of us, specifically the jury. But some insight into his past may give us some clues. Turns out Kohberger knew how to use a knife. Bryan worked as a fish cutter. He was a fillet man when he was in high school, trained to cut and fillet raw fish. I know how to do it. Means you got to know how to use a knife. Some say I stink at it. We'll see how Kohberger was. Joining me now is retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer, who unearthed details for us, and Charlie Conklin, owner of the Big Brown Fish and Pay Lakes, the store where Bryan worked. First,
Okay, so I had a question. It was a random question, but of course I have to do this because of fair use and all that. But remember when we were covering the Amber Heard case and all that? What did Johnny Depp call her? It was like the fish something's Mr. I forgot the title. But does anybody, for those of y'all who have been watching and riding with me since even before the AH and JD thing, what did he call it? He was like the Flappy Fish Market. Wasn't it something like that? Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, Flappy Fish Market. Okay. Sorry. It just made me think of that. I don't know why, but it just made me think of that. Anyway, let's continue.
I appreciate you coming on, Mr. Brown. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's Mr. Conklin, but thank
Mr.
you.
Conklin, sorry. Brown Fish, Conklin. What do you want us to know about this kid that you remember? He was a kid then. He's in his late 20s now, obviously. But what did you teach him how to do, and what did you learn about him?
Well, first of all, our records show he was in our employment for 4 months, but he probably only worked about 20 days for us. And as far as filleting fish, he never got proficient at it. So we bring kids in and train them, and until they're good enough, we don't allow them to do customers' fish. So he probably only practiced filleting maybe 8 to 10 days out of those 20 days. Another part of their job is to be friendly to customers, to help people fish, to pick up paper and stay busy. This probably was his first job because he was only, I think, 16 at the time. So after he was here several times, it became obvious to me that this job just wasn't for him. He wasn't able to make eye contact with customers and be friendly to them. And he never got good enough for us to allow him to fillet customers' fish. So I talked to his direct supervisor, who already was on board and saw the situation. He talked to Bryan. And really, mutually, they decided that job was not for him.
That's very interesting, guys. If you really think about it, okay, maybe he learned some things, but he, as they're saying, he wasn't proficient in it. He wasn't learning quick enough. But I think it was also not only just the fact that he wasn't learning quick enough. I think it also has to do with the fact that he just wasn't very social. He wasn't a sociable guy. And you never know. It could have been I don't know. Maybe they were trying to use his lack of learning how to gut fish in a way to use that as an excuse to let him go. It doesn't really mean, you never know. He still learned these skills. Those knife skills were still ingrained in him. He still learned those things. Just because he didn't continue, right, that job does not mean he didn't continue learning the skills even more later. It just, that could be it too. But then again, you never know. You never know. Let's continue.
So that's
Common
the minimal
experience.
contact.
Common experience for him, by the way. He moved through a lot of jobs early on. It happens, but the reasons here remain somewhat of a mystery. So, Jennifer Coffindaffer, when you were looking at this and you're starting to pick up different pieces, what did you put together so far that you think is of interest to the audience?
Well, to me, this familiarization with a knife, as an investigator, you're looking at not only why did they commit a crime, but how did they commit the crime and their weapon of choice. I always wondered, if you're going to go into a house where you know there's multiple individuals in there, you want something quiet, certainly not a gun, plus that wouldn't have been personal enough. But why not manual strangulation or using a ligature or even blunt force trauma with something? No, he chose a knife. And when I saw this on this application, I thought, wow, he has at least a familiarization with knives, comfortable enough to seek employment using one.
Well, how she understood it may be different from what actually went down. And again, I will say this too. That information, now that we heard it from the boss's mouth, does not automatically mean that he went out, does not automatically mean he is a monster. It does not automatically make him be as such. I think this is the only time that I could sit here and say that I don't entirely agree with Coffindaffer's take on it. I understand where she's coming from, but that doesn't automatically mean that this guy is out here doing these went out, used these skills and did these things. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. There's, to me, he was learning from there, from that store or from that place. He lost the job because he wasn't learning fast enough, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't later on continue learning those skills. That part I'll say. But from what they're saying, he was learning from there and he was not learning fast enough. And that's why they let him go. And then on top of it, that he was just socially awkward, right? No eye contact, etc. So to me, I don't know if that automatically means that doesn't automatically say, oh, smoking gun information. It is information nonetheless. It does show that, hey, there's more to this, that he could have learned from things here. But that does not automatically say that he is definitely a bad guy. Zebedee, exactly. I agree. They could use that to create more doubt. Absolutely. They could. And they could. But I'm hoping that through the information that they have received, through the information that we have as far as this long list of items that they recently received, all these items that they have just unsealed, right? I'm hoping that through the unsealing of this and showing this to me is more thought-provoking and more smoking gun stuff than maybe him having knife skills when he was in 2011. At least that's just me. That's just where I stand on it, But again, I leave that for you guys, okay? Again, just because he was there and he did a 20-day thing, okay, yeah, he learned it for sure. But does that automatically mean that he is the bad guy? I feel like this information, the evidence, the stuff that they're going to find through all the items that they have, I feel like that's the smoking gun information. This and of course, it could say something. I mean, that his workplace information could say something, but I don't know. But then again, that's the other thing I was thinking too. Wouldn't that be workplace discrimination? What if he has a learning curve or maybe a learning disability or something like that? Yeah, I mean that very, very good question, right? Like, Maybe he, because obviously being socially awkward, maybe socially inept, that could be some other things that are going on with him mentally, etc. It could be many different things, right? There could be, he could be on the spectrum. He may not be. I don't know. We've never heard anything about that about him. We've just heard brilliant and does this, that, and the third. He could be on the spectrum. He may not be. He could also just be socially inept. But for him to maybe have a possible learning disability or learning curve, and the fact that they were like, you're not learning fast enough, you need to go. I feel like that was their excuse. Okay. All right. I feel like that was an excuse to let him go because I think he was being too socially awkward. That's what they said. He wasn't making eye contact with people. He's not a people person. Right. And we're also hearing the same story right now from other places. This is the reason why he lost his job as a TA over at Washington State University, because of the amount of pushback he would create, because of how he was a jerk to students, how he was he was a lot more easy on the guys than he was with the girls, so on and so forth. So, just because I feel like him losing his job, it was a combination of both things. That he lost his job because of his lack of social skills, and maybe because he was slow on learning how to get these things taken care of as far as gutting fish. But that still doesn't mean that after 10 years, he wasn't sitting there learning how to use the knife properly. You never know. We got to remember the dog that was skinned alive and stuff? Remember that thing too? What are the chances? I don't know. I've never heard anything about that being debunked or that being connected to somebody else. But I mean, I got questiones, y'all. Okay. And I feel like someone that would lose the job like that, learning how to use a knife and how to clean fish and all that, and gut fish and whatnot. I feel like with his personality, and of course this is just speculation and theory, or conspiracy, but I feel like he would get very focused on it if it was something that really caught his attention. I feel like he would just keep learning how to use the knife. I mean, you got 11 years, I'm sorry, to just learn. I don't know. And you can always Google it. You can always go into the Googles and learn some things. So I don't know. It's very, very interesting. And Bree C, yes, that's weird too. He took the motherboard from his apartment computer with him. That's suspicious. Yes, that's weird too, y'all. There's a lot that was seen or that was taken from his home. But then again, motherboard may not have been at his home, at his apartment in Washington. That could have just been a motherboard in his room. So you never know about that as well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I mean, this is a very, very interesting situation, I think that we got a lot of information here, a lot of evidence that I think is going to push the narrative maybe more towards the land of guilty. I mean, we got to wait. We definitely got to wait. But when it goes down, when they have this is just from his parents' house. This is just from his parents' house, y'all. Just from his parents' house. So, and of course, we've already heard a few things that they've unsealed from the house or his apartment in Washington. For a fact, there's more stuff here. They got more information, and that stuff is going to keep coming out and keep getting leaked as time goes on. And I mean, let's be real. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. And I know you guys are too. All right. So that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Okay. I appreciate the comments and the super chats. Oh, I was surprised they didn't. I'm surprised they didn't take, I guess, garbage disposal from his apartment sink. What evidence could have been caught there? That's a good point too. You see what I'm saying? That's going to be very, very interesting when they got that information coming out. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm definitely here for it. When more information comes out, you know for a fact you're going to get it right here on this show. But there's other stories that need to be told, which I will be telling you guys very, very soon. I got a couple pop-ups and another live probably later on this evening. Maybe. Don't know yet, but I might. So be on the lookout for those things. Be sure to check out my other videos and all that. I can't stress it enough. I don't know what's going on with the YouTubes and all that. They've been acting a fool lately, but if you can, be sure to hit that subscribe button again, hit that notification bell, all that stuff. Of course, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. It helps the story get out there, helps the word get out there. That would mean a lot as well. All right. Something weird is going on, and I don't know what it is. So hopefully I'm going to get down to the bottom of it very, very soon, or hopefully I get it remedied very, very soon. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure that notification bell is on. All right. And I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.